Hello everyone, this is Jeff Crane. I'm the Chief Project Coordinator here at Starcat Products. This is going to be a new little blurb where I go on about various card games, card game related materials, and card game news. This is more of a side project, and I'll give it a chance with the possibility of doing a web show style talks about various card game news. This blurb will flip between two different shows, the first being what is known as the Card Critic, where I talk about various cards that I feel define a specific trading card game, and another where I give updates about the various Starcat games, which includes the Universal Card Game, UCG, and The Last Violent Prophecy, also known as the LVP RPG. Each card game has its signature card that defines each faction in the game the best. This is best noted by either the mascot of the card prominently displayed as the person's key card. We all know the original stars for Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon were Kaiba's I summon my blue-eyes white dragon, and Ash Ketchum's Pikachu, I choose you, or whatever the hell he said. What did Magic the Gathering choose? Was it Sarah Angel? Was it Birds of Paradise? How about Morphling? He was pretty cool, right? I know, let's show off Orog! Seriously guys, trained Orog? This card is a whole nother story. I mean, let's sit down and think about this. The key poster child of Magic the Gathering back in the day was trained Orog. Why did this masterpiece warrant so much charm? So much fame? Was it undercosted? Was it worth playing in any deck? I don't think you can handle how good this card is. It is a 1 red, 6 colorless, wait for it, 6/6. What? Are you guys crazy in R&D? This thing is so good, it could not be as good as this 5/5 flyer for 6. No way! Or is it? The first order of business I'd like to address is that I love playing in dragons almost every game I play. You know, I have a couple. Well, every game except for Heroes of Might and Magic 4, which is a royal pile of dragon crap. In Yu-Gi-Oh! I very much enjoy powerhouse dragon cards such as Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Stardust Dragon, and Armed Dragons of any level. But there is almost always one dragon that I always loved. That's right, everyone. That dragon was Shivan Dragon. This card will always be the best badass in my book. We got the works back in the day where most cards costed 5 and were only 4/4s. Red, however, had Mr. Dragon himself rolling in a 5/5 for 6. The days were awesome. You could lay out this beast with a well-timed mana vault and wazam! Let's think about the other late-game cards were in the burst set of Magic the Gathering. Green had Crawl Worm, and Gaia's Liege, which was only really good after being in play for several turns. White had a strong contender with Sarah Angel, but like most big cards for its color, it was only a 4/4. Singer Vampire, with his surreal artwork, was more of the same, with only being a 4/4 flyer. Blue had Monotony Jin, which was by far could stop Dragon, but Dragon could also waste him as well. As you said, since you know, he's a dragon. The only other dragon in the game was Dragon Robe, which was not the brightest apple in the basket. This card was also a piece of Magic the Gathering's history, as this dragon has been around since the game creation in August 1993. Don't you all just wish you have got into the game back then? I think I was like 7 years old at the time, and my brain consisted of two things: playing outside and eating ice cream. Massive sidetrack there. The card had artwork by long-gone artist from the game, Melissa Benson, who still proudly at this time sells prints of her masterpiece. Melissa, if you're hearing this, I loved your work in Shadow Fist too. I mean, I really like how Z-Man had you draw Gao Zhang again in a better pose along with making the card better. But it's okay, we don't blame you for working on Galactic Empires, though it was a colossal flop. Galactic Empires. We'll discuss you later. Don't you worry. I particularly enjoy how the card is 50% foot and the other is dragon, but that is why we love it, right? But I mean, seriously, what is with this new artwork? It looks like he's about to puke over his shoulders about how crap he has become lately in the game. I mean, what is with the little hands? He's a dragon, not a dinosaur. Back in red. Or like back in the bargain bin. Do you remember the days when this bloody thing went for $10 to $15? Hell, a blackboarded one goes for at least $50 to $150 depending on the play grade. I was at the card shop the other day and I was going through the bargain bin cards. Bargain bin being cards that are kind of crap. And wait for it, for $1, there you go. My favorite card. This is where I start to get a little bit discouraged. Why is my favorite card so undermined lately? Well, To begin with, the card is so common because it has been reprinted so many times that it is now only worth $1. Well, let's see why. To begin with, the pacing of the game, at least for a vintage player like myself, you need big guns either by turn 2 or 3. If you don't have proper pacing, you die. Where does our 6 to play friend fall in? Well, as you might have guessed, he's a bit too slow nowadays. He has been replaced with big brother cards such as the new Mana Charged Dragon. Well, he's been released in the new Commander box sets. Oh, Mana Charge, you are the true ancestor of Shivan Dragon. You have the same cost, the same power, and trample. Oh man, no more random damn pigeons and fairies blocking the damn dragon. What makes this card in its new version badass? Even though they don't have haste. We'll get to you two later, I promise. These two cards are late game cards. Assuming you did a good job protecting them as they came into play, this card can hit for at least 11 points of damage, assuming that no birds stop the attack. If you also played, and to order how premium the card is, say Gauntlet of Might, which doubles the mana that all mountains produce and gives all red creatures +1, this card can hit for say 18 points of damage. Oh, don't forget, that's assuming you only have 6 mountains out, or any other sources of red mana for the Shivan, or colorless for the Mana Charged Dragon. Some other helpful alternatives are Gauntlet of Power from Time Spiral Block, which costs 1 additional mana. In my opinion, is a little bit redundant for the other colors to have. There's better cards for them to play, especially cheaper than 5. Then there's Extra Planner Lens. This card gives double mana to the player with the wee drawback of having to imprint one of your mountains. Then there's always Old School Mana Flare. I still love you, buddy. This one card gives double mana to each player. And then again, it's not as fun without mana burn now, is it? But these cards are excellent alternatives to making cards such as Shivan Dragon and Mana Charged Dragon the big powerhouses they need to be in your decks. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of my Card Critic little blurb that I'm going to have here on Starcat products. I'll try to make one of these at least once a month as soon as I can get to it. I'm kind of busy making the Universal card game. We have about 40 cards left to go, and LVP RPG has a significant amount of work before I can get a demo out to everyone. But I want to let you know that my next thing I'm going to review, kind of as a separate video, is going to be a Let's Play and review of Excalibur 2097. Now, this game is notorious for being cheesy and is ridiculous. So I hope you all enjoyed the Card Critic episode number 1, and I hope to see you all again soon here on Starcat Products. Thank you. This is Jeff Crane, Chief Project Coordinator here at Starcat Products, and I'll be listening to your comments, and please ask me any questions you have on this video. Thank you.